Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka VioletKitty411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been engaging with comments, likes, and subscribing. You know I do appreciate it so much because doing these videos is so much more fun with an engaged audience. Now, I'd like to real quickly give a shout out to E Street Angel, who as a longtime viewer of both my videos as well as reader of my albums, and actually somebody who has downloaded a lot of my lots, actually got a bunch of my Sims 1 content back to me. I lost it all when I had a computer go defunct, and so I am so incredibly appreciative. I have been playing Sims 1 Superstar and Making Magic and just really enjoying these lots that I built, so it was so exciting. So thank you so much. Really so happy about that. So we are back in the building side of Old Town for another family redesign, and again it's going to be another one of our look back families. So today's look back family is actually the Lothario family. I exported them in SimPE and then created them, as well as creating a little bit of a bio for them, since obviously it doesn't exist. Nicolo and Adriana want to be the power couple of Old Town. Both are driven and focused. Will Donnie grow up well adjusted, or will lack of attention send him in a different direction? So both Nicolo and Adriana are fortune Sims, which is true to their dead selves. Adriana is actually an Aquarius and Nicolo is a Gemini. Adriana is a cuisine sim, Nicolo is a sports sim, and Donnie is just an aged back version of himself as well, and he is a fitness sim. The house that I have planned for them is this one right here, 62 Old Farm Circle, which is also known as the Oak Villa. So let's go ahead and see what our budget is going to be. So we are spinning for our multiplier, and today we are doing 3. Okay, so that gives us a really nice budget to work with. So the Oak Villa sells for $32,779 times 3 gives us a budget of $98,337. Let's go ahead and see what we're working with. So one of the reasons I chose this for the Lotharios is I feel it looks very Mediterranean, a small Mediterranean home, but Mediterranean nonetheless. So we have our tile roof, and it's mansard roof over here. Of course, that's an old school mansard roof because I couldn't do them by hand the way I do today. And it also has a good size footprint of a foundation, so we will be using that, hopefully, and this will give us something to work with. It has a nicely created terrain. I remember working with this to give it, as a matter of fact, let me show you, and so you can see how we do have quite some topography, but it also is working with this neighborhood terrain as well, because this was originally built on this exact terrain. So there we go. And inside, it is basically one floor. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bath, if I'm reading this right. A living room, a dining room, a very strange kitchen, a 10.5 tile bathroom, and this is the bedroom. So it is a very strange floor plan. Obviously, we're going to work with that. We will work with the exterior, make the most of everything that we have, but still retain the overall look of the Oak Villa. So when I originally recreated this house, I did so with a mansard roof over the main portion of the building, and then a long gabled over the extension. I'm going to go an entirely different route. You know I do love me a mansard roof, but that's not what I think is right for this particular build. So I'm going to go a little differently. We'll remove the roof entirely. And now we're going to go with the short gabled roof in this direction, so it does create a very large profile. And the long gabled roof, I'm not taking it straight up to the front, I'm going that far, 6 by 4. I'm going to add in a couple of dormers in both cases 1 away from the edge. And we're calling that good. And the last detail for the visual is the shed roof, 2 deep, all the way across, and then drop it by 15 degrees, or to 15 degrees, I should say. And that is the new curb appeal I have for this house. Now, obviously, we will have to do something to the interior to make it playable, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I like to do the ceiling from below because it does create this subflooring look from above, which works for me. I think it's kind of cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and do this. Of course, working 3 from the edge. 1, 2, 3. That's where this will be. And I want to eliminate this long wall that goes with the low shed roof, because that's basically just in the way. And so 3 from the edge here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to eliminate that, draw it back in, and the same on this end. So now there will be no weather in my house issue. We'll just go ahead and get rid of these. How I use these dormers remains to be seen, but I will be using them in some way, shape, or form. And now from the side, the top of the roof is open, so we will take a long gabled roof and cover it completely, right like that. It's fully covered, and that's our new roof. So now let's go ahead and create our tabula rasa, as you know I like to do. And now let's decide on a floor plan. Of course, you know I do like to start with a staircase and choose my floor plan following that. So we're going to use my very favorite spiral staircase, and we've got 1 going upstairs, and just for good measure we've got 1 going downstairs as well. Got a bigger budget to work with this time. So with the upstairs, we will have 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. The bath will technically be an ensuite, so over here we've got Don's room, and over here we have Nicolo and Adriana's room and their ensuite bath. Now for the downstairs, I do like to have the kitchen at the back of the house, so this will have an eating space. Right here we will have a centrally located full bathroom, and this is the dining room, and over here is the main living area. We'll have a library, and then just a little bit of a hallway that will lead into the kitchen as well as out onto the back deck. And speaking of the back deck, we will be changing the configuration of the doors. Haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with that, but instead of the front door being located over here, I am actually going to create a little bit of a front porch like that. Maybe not that much. Let's go that much. Right like that, and change the location there. So that's the basic floor plan that we're going to be working with. So now let's take a look at the finished product of 62 Old Farm Road, also known as the Oak Villa. Now you'll see under the eaves that there is a little bit of a graphical error, and I believe that's caused by where this 45-degree angle roof and this 15-degree angle roof collide. I couldn't get rid of it. Honestly, I wasn't that concerned about it because ultimately I got the look that I was going for. So of course the largest difference to the exterior of the home was changing from the mansard roof that I had originally built to this kind of stylized Cape Codder with dormers, where we can fully use this roof as playable surface. And I did also, again, do this two-staged roof over here where it's low. I moved the front door from here where it was located over onto this diagonal wall, which makes use of a diagonal wall, of course, and makes it more centrally located to the entire front of the building. I gave it a little bit more of a front porch. Also changed the greenery, but in the back I didn't do anything other than change the railing around the back deck because it seemed friendlier than the black wrought iron that I originally had. Now, as we enter the diagonal front door, we are presented with the main living area. According to SimWiki, TS3 Dawn's favorite color is black. And although Adriana and Nicolo don't technically have favorite colors since they were only in The Sims 2 and they were dead, I took my cue from their outfit. She wears the black suit and he wears the gray suit with a black shirt and red tie. So that was basically how I chose my color palette, including the high society wallpaper in both the main room as well as over here in the formal dining room with the Bollywood stuff from Life Stories as well as carpeting from Life Stories. Now, as we turn around the bend, we have a dresser as a sideboard, and then we can go into our kitchen. Since Adriana's lifetime hobby is cuisine, I wanted the kitchen to be a very large focal point, a little bit more feminine by using the grays and pinks, as well as a custom recolor of the Nouveau counter, which has a breakfast bar as well as a little bit of a dining nook over here. Now, from the kitchen, there are two other doors. One leads out onto the deck and another leads into the little hallway from which you can get to the dining room, the main room, the staircase, and also the downstairs bath. Now, the downstairs bath is just a 2x3 bathroom done in the kitchens and baths tiny tile, just very clean. The bathrooms are not done in their theme colors just because that didn't make sense to me. Now, as we go up the stairs, we have a hallway that is done in the same paper as the hallway downstairs. There's a little bit of a nook where they can enjoy a game of chess before bed, and there are two bedrooms. While this house is significantly larger, it's still only a two-bedroom house. Here we have Donnie's room. Yes, I did choose to name him Donnie, like John Burb is Johnny as his younger self. It just made sense to me. I thought the racetrack, with his favorite color being black, I thought the racetrack stuff was very appropriate, but we didn't go full in with the furniture. We chose the mission stuff for his furnishings. The checkered flags and the banners and things that are very sporty just struck me very much like Don, including model cars and helicopter. And back through the hall, adjacent to their son's room, is Adriana and Nicolo's room. Cooler with the great ornater walls, but splashes of red for color to make it a little bit more romantic as well. A double dresser and a nice large mirror above it. Now they do have a 2x4 ensuite bath, which is appointed identically, but otherwise just very clean and crisp. The basement really is nothing to speak of. It is finished, but other than the punching bag and the ballet bar, it's pretty much empty. Now with the Cape Cod type roof, it is significantly more impressive from the neighborhood. It comes in at $95,507, and the Lotharios have $98,337, so they'll have just shy of $3,000 when we put them in. So let's see what they think. All right, moving in day, and Nicolo and his son. Oh, I have to change their outfits. Okay, so we changed Nicolo's outfit. We will send Adriana to a dresser, and we will actually send Donnie here to school. I haven't written a bio for either Nicolo or Adriana, but for Donnie, I wrote so many little girls, so little time. Donnie is the heartbreaker of the playground. So we will have Nicolo use the toilet, Adriana. Oh, I must not have bought that other outfit. I'll have to buy that. And Adriana, why don't you go ahead and watch TV just long enough to discover that you love cooking. He likes sports. That's great. Now let's move on with our day. And Nicolo, why don't you ask your lovely wife on a date? Nicolo wants to get Donnie into private school, and Adriana's not that concerned, but that's okay. So let's get a flirt, and then why don't you tickle your husband? Great. And he would like to slow dance. Do you want to dance at all with him? Tell a joke? Yeah, why don't you dance? Okay, so why don't you slow dance? There we go. Wonderful. And Adriana wants to get her son into private school too, so that's wonderful for them. But you know what? Why don't you check your husband out and you check your wife out? That way we've got some other options. Perfect. And nothing to work with. That's okay. Okay, another checkout gave us something to work with. Why don't you kiss your husband very sweetly? Wonderful. That should be getting us onto at least a romantic track. And I do love it when they have their own autonomous back rub. That's great. And why don't you flirt with him again? Let's see what happens. Okay, let's woohoo. And Adriana, lazy thing that she is, would really like to sleep, but let's go ahead and not try for a baby. Let's see, we've got Brad out here as flat broke, and where Brad goes, Tiffany usually follows, but I don't see her anywhere. Okay, and they both want a dream date, which is amazing. So with 4 minutes and 11 seconds, or 4 hours and 11 minutes, that's 411, just saying. We're gonna just go ahead and get ready for our day. And why don't you make some shrimp gumbo, because we've got things to do. And do we have enough points? I think we should. And there's one of the least liked townies, Sophie Miguel. Donnie, you look like you're bringing someone home. Oh, you're bringing home Johnny Burb. That's lovely. Thank you. And boys, why don't you play some Sims 3 on the console? That's great. And Nicolo thought he'd make some lunch meat sandwiches. And invite the headmaster over, please, Adriana. Scratch your armpit. That's great. Getting in at the last minute. That's fine. Okay, Adriana, why don't you greet Corey with a kiss, kiss, darling, because you're the best bet. There we go. Oh, good. 37 schmooze points. That's amazing. Let's go ahead and give him a tour. Hey. All right. Not the... Oh, well, yeah, this is a pretty good room. Why don't you show him the room? Okay, perfect. And let's go out into the dining room. And that was a great start, but we don't need to kiss our husband right now. I mean, nice and everything, but you know, Nicolo, I want you to put away the lunch meat sandwiches because we don't want him thinking that's the best we have to feed our child. And Adriana, why don't you continue with the tour? Take him to see the dining room. Okay, great. Let's go there. Okay, wonderful. And you know, we might get a good score right here. No, not fantastic. Not good enough. All right, we've got a good one in... Oh, okay. Go put down those flowers that you just spawned. But that's not where we want to take him. Let's try the hallway. That's pretty good. Nothing in it, but yeah, pretty adequate. Okay, wonderful. And Nicolo, if you would kindly collect some leftovers. Oh, what's Donnie doing that he's like... Oh, he's doing some show off. Very nice, Donnie. And let's get that shrimp gumbo. Wonderful. Okay, Donnie, I think you're hungry. Why don't you eat this? Why don't you eat that? And let's call him to dinner. He'll feed himself. And Nicola, okay, fine. And why don't you talk about money? And also you talk about money. Kids don't really like to talk about money, but there we go. Hey, Bugs, money. I don't like money. I'm not interested in money. But you should learn about money. And we had sex earlier today. That's great. Awesome and completely appropriate topic at the dinner table with a child present. 100% appropriate. Yes, I'd like it if you got a genie too. Oh, and there we go. Wonderful. Perfect. And Donnie, why don't you ask your mom for some help with your homework? Okay, Nicolo, let's put the rest of that shrimp gumbo away. And congratulations, Donnie, you know how to do your homework. Nicolo, thanks for doing a little bit of cleaning up around. And the family that muscles together, hustles together. I think this is going to be great for them to pursue their needs. And once she wants to be a prestigator, he wants to join the medical career. So basically, Donnie's going to take after his dad. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world, and that's all I have to say. VK out.